He walked out with nothing and came back owning everything. They used to laugh when he walks out of the building that day. No job, no money, no dignity. No one believed that man would ever come back. But they were wrong, because sometimes losing everything is exactly what you need to build something greater. His name was Ethan Cole, 28 years old, the youngest senior analyst at Hamilton and Ridge, one of the biggest investment firms in the city. Smart, loyal, too loyal, maybe. He believed hard work always paid off, until he found out it doesn't. Not when someone else cashes in your effort. It happened on a Monday morning. Ethan was in his cubicle when his boss, Mark Jefferson, called him into his office. Mark was the kind of man who wore expensive suits and cheaper smiles. "Ethan," he said, motioning him in, "we need to talk." Ethan sat down thinking it was about the pitch he'd been preparing for weeks, but the look in Mark's eyes said otherwise. "Corporates decided to go in a new direction," Mark said smoothly. "We're restructuring." Ethan frowned. "Restructuring? But I just finished the McKinsey deal." Mark interrupted, smiling too easily. "Yes, and it's a great success, which is why I'm promoting Nathan to your position."
Nathan, the same coworker who could barely write a report without asking for Ethan's help. Ethan felt his chest tighten. "You're firing me?" "Not firing," Mark said. "Just letting you go. You understand. Nothing personal." He didn't understand, but he nodded anyway. Mark handed him an envelope with his severance check, insultingly small, and patted him on the shoulder. "Don't worry," he said, smiling like a snake. "You'll land on your feet." That afternoon, Ethan packed his things, one box, half a life, and walked through the office halls he'd practically built from the ground up. People stared, some whispered. He ignored them. But as he reached the elevator, he turned back, just once, and locked eyes with Mark through the glass office wall. Mark smirked. Ethan smiled back, because in that moment, he made a promise. He'd be back.
For the next few months, Ethan struggled. His savings dried up. His apartment lease ended. He started freelancing from cafes, helping small businesses with budgets and marketing strategies. He worked late nights, slept little, lived cheap. But something inside him burned. Not anger, not pride, but hunger. He started noticing a pattern. All these small business owners had the same problem. No financial guidance, no digital presence, no real strategy. Big corporations were crushing them. Ethan had an idea. He used the last $700 in his account to buy a cheap laptop, a domain name, and a desk in a co-working space. And there, in a corner of a noisy cafe called Bean & Co., Cole Strategies was born. No fancy office, no team, just him. But he had something far better: clarity. He started small, helping a bakery owner manage her costs, then a fitness trainer with online marketing, then a local clothing brand that went viral after his campaign. Within a year, he had 30 clients. Within 2, he had a full team working under him. By year 3, he was competing with the same firms that once shut him out. Wasn't luck, it was persistence. He learned everything from scratch: branding, pitching, management, negotiation. Every rejection became fuel. He didn't chase money, he built trust. And the trust paid off. 5 years later, Hamilton and Ridge, the same firm that fired him, was in trouble. Their profits had tanked, their reputation was sinking, and they'd just lost a major client. Ethan knew because that client had called him. "Ethan," the CEO said over the phone, "we need your help. We're willing to pay whatever it takes." He smiled to himself. "Send me the details. I'll take a look." A week later, Ethan walked into the same glass building he'd left years ago. Same polished floors, same elevator smell, same receptionist who used to ignore him. But this time, he wasn't an employee. He was the owner of the consulting firm that was about to save them. And when he stepped into the boardroom, the first person he saw was Mark Jefferson. Older, thinner, the same fake smile. Mark froze. "Ethan? Cole?" Ethan smiled politely.
Good to see you again, Mark. I hear you've been restructuring.
The presentation went perfectly. He spoke with confidence, the kind that comes from earning every inch of your success. When the meeting ended, the CEO extended his hand. Impressive work, Mr. Cole. We'd like to make this official. Welcome aboard as our new partner. Mark's face went pale. Ethan shook the CEO's hand and said calmly, "Thank you. I'll have my team contact yours about the transition." Then he turned to Mark, smiling just slightly. "Oh, and Mark, I'll be taking your office." That afternoon, as the elevator doors closed, Ethan looked out at the city skyline, the same view he used to dream about from his cubicle. He had walked out with nothing, no job, no savings, no plan, and now he owned the company that once threw him away. People always talk about revenge, but what they never tell you is that the sweetest revenge isn't about payback. It's about success so undeniable they have no choice but to remember the way they underestimated you. Closing line. He walked out with nothing, but he came back owning everything. His name, his pride, and the empire they said he could never build.